What's up, guys? It's me, Spectrar, here in another video in Return Frontier, doing an update on our farming somewhat series that I've got going on. I found some new genomes, but first I wanted to show you how my crystal farm is going so far. I've hauled out another area of dirt for this other gene, so that way I have them separated and kind of know which one is which you'd probably be able to tell from just looking at it. But I'm going to clear all this out, but a line going across this bottom so that it has plenty of room to grow fast again, and then I'll start another gene here. But I wanted to show you all this so you kind of saw how big it was, and I'm going to show you how much it actually yields in crystals. So I'll get started on that real quick. Okay guys, so I've cleared it out, and I got 336 crystal shards. Who knows whether that's a lot or not? Who knows? Picked up some random dirt along the way. So yeah, I noticed that as I was mining them, they were so full of energy and seed value already that they were dropping seeds as soon as I drop them. And it would have been just fine to just leave them, because then you'd regrow all your crystals faster. But I kind of wanted a base value from just this, so I decided to get rid of them. But let's go look at our new geome and plant it and see how well it does. So we got one more crystal spore. It is hard to find these guys for some reason. So I feel really bad for those of you that may have not had the luck to find one yet. I luckily found two. Man, I have not found one since. But let's look at our new crystal. So, most everything looks the same except for these nice shiny new blue ones. So they're exactly the same as these bulk ones, but they have a pure upgrade for the bulk gene. This one slowly absorbs energy over time to increase its value, which is really cool, which means our previous ones had a very set value of how big they could be, but because of these two will grow. I don't know, or grow more in value as time goes on. I don't know if there's like a limit. We'll have to see. But it seems like it'll just keep growing and growing and growing, which means the longer you leave it there, the more it's worth, which is kind of what you want, because you'll be off on adventures and you want things to propagate value a lot more while you're gone. As you can see, I got another flower genome, which is going to help with seed production, so that way it spreads faster. Got a few more collectors and more bulk, so that our gene is worth more. I've surrounded the entire growth gene with collectors, so that way there's no chance at all that it will not grow, just because I'm paranoid like that. And I'm hoping it'll force the gene to grow a little faster. Other than that, there's not too much sense to how I did this, except for the roots. They're leading up to the flowers, so that way they produce seeds faster. I put the facets, which is basically just an upgraded bulk gene, next to the growth, so that hopefully they grow sooner than later. I didn't want to put them near the original one because I wanted to make sure we had collectors growing. But anyways, let's go ahead and take our crystal spore. We'll replace our repair tool. Yet again, this is how it looks. And then let's go ahead, select it, and let's stick it right in the middle. Bam! There you go. You can see it. Woohoo! Now, let's go ahead and grab our other tool and watch it grow. As you can see, it's picking the very first energy collector, which is nice. But let's go ahead and maybe I might stop the time-lapse here and there to put in some comments, but let's see how it grows. Okay, there we go. Our first lens finally materialized. Now remember, this is sped up, and that lens takes forever to grow. It's honestly going to feel like your gene has completely stopped growing. don't lose faith in your gene. Just let it sit. Just know that because you have those, what are they called again? I already forgot. Collectors, that it is still collecting energy and it is growing. It literally felt like it took forever. I almost questioned myself whether it was still growing. So just let it grow. But this is a good time to recognize that it's still not going for that one to the right immediately, like the description makes it feels like it should. It is doing it now, but it still doesn't do it directly immediately. But it's nice that we're having a lot of a lot of the collectors growing, so that our gene is growing faster, which is nice. Okay, so as you can see, we've hit another growth gene completely made, and our first modified bulk gene. Suddenly forget what it's called. And a branch gene, which is nice. The more I'm watching this... there goes the second growth gene. The more I'm watching this, the more I felt like I maybe should have put those two growth genes right next to the original growth gene. So that they... probably on that right side. That way they grew faster. Expending this energy that we've built up a little bit faster, because now we're actually using more energy than we are making because those two are made, which probably would have made our gene grow a little faster, but it's not too big of a deal because at this point it is now growing fairly fast, but for the sake of it growing even faster, it probably would have been smarter to put it a little bit closer. Well, there you go, guys. Our gene is done, and right now it is at about 4 value. It's a huge crystal, and it is actually growing in value at a very consistent rate because of those two genes. I want to go run over and check the value of this crystal at fully grown. It is 2.27, and that's it. And this crystal grew close to just as fast as those ones. The seed count is growing fairly fast, which I'm very happy about, which is due to our 3 more genes. But I'm most happy about how fast the value is actually growing. And now that I'm looking at it, it actually looks like it has stopped, which is very interesting. I wonder if that's the max value that those genes can hold. I keep saying... I forget what it's called, a facet. Maybe that's the max the facet gene can grow. I mean, it doesn't say there's a limit at all. This one slowly absorbs energy over time to increase its value. So it looks like its value increase has reached a limit. I don't know if it's because of the size. It says size 49. Let's check what the size that these ones are. Size 30. So they're pretty big, but this one's obviously much bigger. I don't know if that's due to gene count or value count. But it does look like it has stopped growing in value, which is very interesting. It makes me wonder if that has to do with maybe... I'm trying to think. Maybe how many of those facet genes it has, or something. I don't know what the variable is. It's kind of hard to tell since this is the first time I ever used that gene. But as you can see, we have a much bigger, much more valuable crystal that has grown fairly fast and actually produced a seed very fast. And as you can see, our nice new seed is growing. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed that the value stops growing at a certain point. I wish the gene had that in its description to kind of tell you about that. But I guess it makes sense from a non-game breaking perspective. You know, I guess that makes sense. I just wish I knew what made it stop, if anything. Whether it's the size of the crystal or just that they can only grow to a certain point, or they can only absorb so much energy. But yeah, this has been the update of our farming. I hope you found it useful. And hopefully you are able to find genes and get your farm going soon so that you can start making a profit. I guess I could have just reached them from over here and didn't have to walk all the way around. But yeah, I hope, let me know if you have any other questions or if I didn't explain something well enough. If you enjoy these updates on the farming stuff, please give this video a thumbs up so that way I know to keep making them and keep taking the time to do raiding to try to get more genes so I can show you guys more stuff. It takes a lot of time to do that, as you can imagine, because it's very hard to get the genes. You have to do a lot of raiding to do that. So if you are enjoying it, please let me know, and I'll continue to put in that time to make these videos for you. Other than that, man, another seed already. I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya!